Good evening, everyone. Christy Arnett here for Card Player TV, and it's the end of day 2 of the 2009 PokerStars Caribbean Adventure. There are around 100 players left out of the 1,347 that started, and they're all in the money. Now, these players are going to be guaranteed at least $15,000, and one of the players who made it through today, who will be entering day 3 tomorrow, is Joe Cassidy. All right, Joe, what's up? How's the event going? I haven't spoken to any of the days, so looks like you've got a big stack. What happened?
It's deceptively small. It's a lot of little baby chips in there. I started the day with like 65,000, and somehow immediately had it up to like 230, and then got a guy to put all his money in with 2 4s against aces, and he spiked to 4.
Oh, dang.
So I lost most of my chips there, and then it's kind of been up and down. Nothing really has happened since then.
So what have you been doing the past few days? Have you gotten to enjoy the beautiful Bahama weather?
I have not. I got here late the night before the tournament and slept for a little while, and that's it. I saw some pretty things from my room, but
yeah,
that's been it so far. So.
Well, you've got to try out the slides when you do get a chance. But so how's your table right now?
My table is, my tables so far during the tournament have been pretty kind of easy, easier than normal. But this table's tough. I feel kind of handcuffed. Every time I raise, I get re-raised. So trying to find a hand right now.
Are you finding that you're playing a lot against really young internet players, even underage ones?
Yes. Definitely a lot of young kids here that I've never seen before, and a lot of them actually play pretty well. So, it's kind of tough. Some of them know who I am, and I don't know who they are, which makes it, they've got more information than I do. So.
We also talked with Mark Seif. All right, Mark, how did you end the night?
I ended the night at 500,000.
How did you build your stack?
Well, I came in with 53,000 early on, and I got up to about 300,000 in the first couple hours by picking up aces in a good spot. I limped and I got 4-way action. I got kind of a bad flop. It came 8-8-5 with 2 hearts, and that's always problematic whenever you see a flop 4 or 5 ways. So I was a little concerned, but there was just a relatively small flop bet. So I called it, hoping that I was good and hoping that maybe I could improve. And sure enough, an ace peeled off on the turn. I did a Mike Mattisell, one time, please! And so the ace peeled off, and I actually led out my opponent, who is the chip leader. The chip leader today. He came in with 360,000. He shoved to put the pressure on me. Of course, I called. I have aces full. He had a flush draw, so he was drawing dead.
That's always nice.
Yeah, so that's how I got up to about 300. Then just playing typical bad Mark Seif poker, I got down to about 120, 130 after that. Just making some pretty loosey-goosey calls, and then
Mark Seif playing loose? No way.
Imagine that, Christy. So I finally, the big hand was about an hour, maybe 45 minutes ago. It was against Matt Stout. Nice guy, good player. He raised. I'm on the button. I had 2 deuces. I had pocket deuces, so I called, and the flop came ace, king, queen, all clubs. And
you have the deuce of clubs.
I had the deuce of clubs, and it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I know for a fact that he couldn't have a club in his hand because the way he'd been playing, his profile is such that he's going to have those cards that are up on the board. He's not going to have like a jack 9 of clubs. I just know it. Early position, his stack didn't dictate that he could mess around too much, and he had a good size stack too. So it wasn't one of those stacks where it's like Baker where he has 800,000, he could just goof around. So I felt like he had to have the cards on the board. So when I look back at the deuce of clubs, I felt like if a club came out, that was going to be strong. And there was about 45,000 in the pot. The bet was 25,000. So I made the call because he's got about 200,000 behind. I had about 200,000. So a deuce peeled off on the turn.
Oh, nice.
So he moved all in. I called him because I know that I have outs.
Right.
I'm likely to have outs. If he's got a set, then I've got the club. If he,
either the club's good or the deuces are good.
Exactly. So it ended up that he had ace, king of diamonds. So he had top 2. The river was a blank, and I picked up a lot of chips there.
The $25,000 Buy-in High Rollers event is still going on, and a few of the players who are still competing are Scott Seaver, Eli Elezra, and Ivan Demidov. That's it for day 2, but we'll be back tomorrow for day 3 of the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure, as well as more updates on the High Rollers event. I'm Christiana for Card Player TV.